You're watching ABC7 News at 6.
Hello and welcome. I'm Scott Dennis.
And I'm Jacqueline Matter. Thanks for joining us. Our top story at 6, Sarasota police seizing 8 firearms, including an AK-47 from the man charged with shooting into a downtown condo over the weekend.
Police taking possession of those weapons almost immediately as part of the criminal investigation. But tonight, thanks to a new state law, those guns will remain with police until a judge rules the gun owner is mentally stable. ABC7's Jess Dowdrick joins us to explain where this investigation now stands. Jess?
Scott, this is the first time Sarasota Police Department was able to implement this new red flag law, which allowed them to take the suspect, Ryan Flanzer's weapons away from him temporarily. Tonight, Flanzer is out on bond, and officers feel better about the community's safety knowing these weapons are in Flanzer's hands. After several rounds were fired into this condominium on Main Street in downtown Sarasota, police searched the suspect, 25-year-old Ryan Flanzer's home and vehicle, and found 8 high-end expensive firearms, one being an assault weapon.
We were looking for evidence as part of the fruit of the crime that was committed, so we found these weapons.
Now Chief DePino's department will remain in possession of Flanzer's firearms until a judge rules differently.
He seemed to be exactly who he said he was.
Just 3 months ago, Flanzer was vetted by Longboat Key Police Chief Peter Cumming when he donated more than $200,000 for new safety equipment and improvements to the island's red light cameras.
He said, I love the police. Someday I want to have a political career, and this will help me do that if I start now donating to police departments.
Flanzer had no criminal record or any negative run-in with police at the time. Flanzer not only donated the money, but also volunteered to be a liaison between the department and Jewish community.
It seemed that he was one of these people that liked to be associated with police and fire and other public safety.
According to court records, the door Flanzer allegedly shot up on Saturday belonged to Seth Bloom, a man Flanzer is in the middle of a lawsuit with. Flanzer claiming Bloom stole $300,000 from him.
He scammed me as well out of $10,000.
Sarah Blackwell is Bloom's former attorney and the woman that he's listed as his attorney on the fraud case between him and Flanzer. She says she hasn't heard from him in at least 6 months and that she was not asked to and refuses to represent him.
He has been adding me as his registered agent on his businesses without my approval or even knowledge, and so he's been sued multiple times.
On May 18th, Flanzer will have a court hearing in front of a judge where he can plead his case to get his weapons back. If the judge rules with police, Sarasota Police Department will remain in possession of Flanzer's weapons for at least 1 year. Jacqueline.
Okay, thank you so much, Jess. The former Punta Gorda police chief has filed a complaint with the Florida Department of Law Enforcement. Tom Lewis says he wants to get out the truth about what happened the day 73-year-old Mary Knowlton was killed during a police civilian training class. Lewis is accusing Captain Jason Chashini of perjury, saying he lied during the investigation about his role in the incident. Lewis and another officer were fired from the department. He was also charged with culpable negligence, but was acquitted. Lee Cole is charged with manslaughter and will go to trial this summer. The FDLE is looking into that complaint.
Happening now at Sarasota City Hall, City Commissioners and the Sarasota County School Board are holding a special joint workshop to discuss security at Sarasota High School. Right now, a stretch of School Avenue runs right through the campus. Pedestrians and bike riders can access school grounds through that road while school is in session. We have this live look from that special meeting at City Hall. The school district wants to add a temporary gate to limit access to the sidewalk during school hours and then one day permanently shut down that section of School Avenue. But first, the school district has to get approval from the city. The Manatee County School District will have to look at new ways to pay for school safety. Today,
Manatee County commissioners voting against additional funding for school resource officers. The county's current contract with the Manatee County School District is about $900,000, which will stay as is. That money helps fund the 16 SROs in the schools now. Today, the district asked the commission to help pay for an additional 31 officers, but board members say they simply don't have the money and don't want to ask taxpayers for it either.
So you have the same officer in the building. They build relationships with the principals, the assistant principals, with the teachers, and more importantly with the students and the parents. and we wanted to continue that. We've seen how successful that has been in our middle schools and the high schools at the secondary level, and we wanted to do that at the elementary.
Now the district says it will have to reconvene with the school board, Manatee County Sheriff Rick Wells, and the city police chiefs to look at other options. This meeting is already tentatively scheduled for later this week.
I thought today was just like an atypical May day. It's usually pretty dry, usually have pretty clear skies, and it was pretty beautiful today, I thought. Here's
certainly.
Bob Harrigan, the expert.
Yeah, and you know, 2 degrees shy of the record, 91 degrees today, but as I was walking from my car to work, I said, oh, I'm not sweating, you know, it wasn't sopping wet. The humidity so low, it's been so nice as of late, and that continues now. 44% the relative humidity. That's great news for humans walking around and not sweating, but bad news for fires. If fires were to start, they would spread rapidly because of that low humidity that's been around. Winds out of the north-northwest at 14. And speaking of fires, a very high fire danger exists, as it has been all week long now. For Manatee, Sarasota, and DeSoto counties, and in Charlotte County, it's extreme right now, and that's the forecast for tomorrow. I wanted to share the European forecast model. It's looking a little better as far as Saturday and Sunday goes. We're still calling for a 50% chance for scattered showers and storms. We have a long way to go before this model kind of works its way out, but the European in particular is showing that low pressure area, a subtropical low, if you will, developing east of the state on into Monday. You can kind of see that rotation developing right there. We'll show you the GFS in just a little bit, which is a little bit more helpful for us, bringing us some rainfall. Details on that coming up in a few minutes. Back to you.
All right, Bob, thank you. New at 6, Sarasota Memorial Hospital is a step closer to expanding into Venice. An administrative law judge recommending Florida's Agency for Healthcare Administration give final approval to open the new facility with 90 acute care beds. Now, the hospital would be built along Laurel Road in Venice. The HCA is expected to give final approval to this new hospital in the coming weeks, and SMH hopes to have that new facility open within 3 years.
A new roundabout is expected to open at the intersection of Orange Avenue and Ringling Boulevard as early as next week. The final details are being done this week, including landscaping and adding road signs. Later this summer, an art installation by a local artist will be added to the center of that roundabout. This is one of several roundabouts that the city has planned for the coming years.
Still to come in your Suncoast News tonight, what you need to know about flood insurance as we get closer and closer to hurricane season.
And why the Sarasota County Sheriff's Office says they need this new piece of equipment.
Once you get atrial fibrillation, you need to have a very close relationship with your primary doctor. Prevention is the whole ball game here, because once you have a stroke, you can't undo it. A year without stroke, it's a year that you can enjoy doing the things that you've worked all your life to finally get to do. You took care of yourself. You did what is necessary for you to be around one more year. And then next year, we'll celebrate one more year without a stroke.
Judy here, I think hospice was a tremendous source of support for her.
Absolutely. With Jennifer and Kimberly and Liza's constant contact with us, coming in, just knowing that there was someone with knowledge there to back us up, to answer our questions, it made a world of difference.
Picking out a new ceiling fan? That's a do-it-yourself. Installing your new ceiling fan?
No.
That's a don't do it yourself. For ceiling fans, rewires, or anything electrical, play it safe. And call on the trained electricians from your locally owned Mr. Sparky. It's no accident that so many of our customers are repeat customers. Trust Mr. Sparky for all your electrical repairs.
Call 888-8-SPARKY.
Designers do it with style.
Tell me what's going on here.
Why, you don't like my hair?
The Mark and Mandy Show. In-depth design ideas.
What is up with the tuck tape here? Let's cover it up.
Amazing beauty and fashion tips.
So Halle Berry has amazing skin. Her secret is coffee grounds.
No.
Delicious recipes.
Today, I'm gonna show you a special dish that is sure to please that special someone in your life.
Watch the Mark and Mandy Show right here on your favorite channel.
Don't allow your weight to threaten your health or control your future. Excess weight or obesity can cause emotional and physical health risks. But you can take control. The Your Weight Matters campaign offers free resources and tips to help you measure and understand your weight. Take the Your Weight Matters Challenge. The free toolkit prepares you to speak with a healthcare provider about your weight. Your weight does matter. Take the challenge and take control today.
So I kind of grew up all across the country. I come from 5 generations of military men. My dad is still active duty. My grandpa is retired Marines. I like going for runs with my dog. I love, taking her out to the dog beach over in Venice. There are so many things here to do on the Suncoast. My goal every day when I come into work at ABC7 is to tell your stories, give you that major local news and those details that you really care about. I'm Jacqueline Matter, and I'm here for you.
Workers' compensation insurance rates in Florida continue to drop. The Florida Office of Insurance Regulation has approved an average 1.8% decrease in rates. This is all a result of the federal tax overhaul. The reduction will take effect for new and renewal workers' compensation policies effective June 1st.
Any business in the service industry business is incredibly competitive. It's very rate sensitive. So for those businesses, hotels, restaurants, retails, this is a big deal.
Workers' compensation is meant to protect workers and employers. It's supposed to provide workers who are injured on the job access to medical benefits they need to recover.
Well, fire danger remains high on the Suncoast. Coming up next, Chief Meteorologist Bob Harrigan has your first alert weather forecast.
Outdoor living is one of the greatest perks about living in Florida. So whether this is your style, or this, or maybe this, contact Superior Pools. They've been building pools from Sarasota to Naples since 2001, and they would love to build yours.
Hi, I'm Chef Bob. Watch Aprons in the Kitchen every Wednesday morning on ABC7, where we'll be serving up the most awesome dishes. Then stop by your neighborhood Publix, pick up the recipe card and all the ingredients.
My California Closets experience has been wonderful. My mother's a huge inspiration. Before she passed away, she would say, you should do something special for yourself. First time I saw my closet, I immediately thought, this is the best thing I've ever done for myself. I call it my Tiffany style closet. I can shop in my own closet every day. I love that. My name is Cynthia, and this is my California Closets story.
Need more space in your place? The More Space Place can help with Murphy beds that disappear to reveal a home office, living room, or den. Custom closets with designated areas for your shoes, bags, wardrobe, and accessories. Custom-built entertainment centers, garage storage systems, and more. The More Space Place has 3 showrooms next to Sonny's on US 41 South in Sarasota, on Lakewood Ranch Boulevard just south of State Route 64 in Bradenton, and on Tamiami Trail next to Panera Bread in Port Charlotte. Put more space in your place at the More Space Place.
Says Art, Sarasota's only area rug superstore.
Our nation's servicemen and women show great courage and leadership, both on and off the battlefield. When they transition to civilian life, they can apply the skills and values they learned in the military to the workplace. That's why the Coalition to Salute America's Heroes is urging employers everywhere to be smart, bet on a vet. Hiring a veteran is also a great way to show your appreciation for them. To learn more, call 1-888-44-SALUTE.
Outdoor living is one of the greatest perks about living in Florida. So whether this is your style, or this, or maybe this, contact Superior Pools. They've been building pools from Sarasota to Naples since 2001, and they would love to build yours.
Well, the weather was, I thought it was just great out today.
Yeah.
You said hot, but because the humidity was a little lower, it didn't feel so hot.
Yeah, it was nice, absolutely. I think everyone kind of understood that this morning, too. 64 degrees to start things off with the humidity running really quite low. And it's similar right now, but we are having some problems with the air quality index, as is typically the case during the summer months. And here in late spring, we get that, too, as high pressure stagnant around our area, and the air doesn't mix much. It's 97. The major pollutant is ozone. More than likely similar conditions again tomorrow, maybe even a little higher. Anna Maria webcam showing beautiful conditions out there out on Bimini Bay, and you can see not much cloudiness at all, at least near the water. We had some inland clouds developing on that east to northeasterly wind, but now the sea breeze has kicked in, pushing all the clouds well to the east of the coastal locations, and looks to be a nice sunset. Now, Futurecast, I showed you the European model. This is what the GFS is doing. This is at Sunday at 10 o'clock, again showing some showers down to our south. So on Mother's Day, we expect a few scattered showers and a few thunderstorms. It doesn't look like it's going to be a washout at this point. Models can change, but the area of low pressure with the GFS is now developing to the west of where the European is. That's on the east coast. The GFS has it on the west coast of Florida on Monday and Tuesday. So this could be a beneficial low pressure area, and that it's not going to be an intense low in terms of big wind or any problems like that, but it could bring some much needed rain our way, and that'll happen Monday and Tuesday. Staying dry through Friday. Now the chance for showers peaks up a little bit over the weekend, although the rain chance, I dropped it down to 50% for scattered showers and a few isolated thunderstorms, both on Saturday night and Sunday. And then for the subtropical low development, we're counting on that to help us out with our somewhat drought here, as well as the high fire danger that exists. Titan radar picture showing no rain around here, some showers down to our south. And you can see that sea breeze. I've sensitized the radar here to show you that sea breeze has penetrated into central Manatee County now. So temperatures are cooling down just a little bit right near the coast, and that dry air remains in place. And this trough in the jet stream, which is dipping down all the way into the Gulf of Mexico, will shift to the east, and a surface high pressure will then build to the east of the state, and that'll bring us more of an east to southeasterly wind component, which will bring that humidity up on Friday and over the weekend. 85 right now. Enjoy it. 44% on the relative humidity. The barometer 29.96 inches. That is rising slightly. And as far as the high goes, there it is, just 2 degrees shy of the record, 93, and that was set back in 1929. Well, nationally, a surface low moving through the northern plain states now, bringing some rainfall into Minnesota, heading toward Wisconsin, but pretty quiet over much of the southeast as a result of that high pressure ridge. A weak frontal boundary now moving through parts of the central United States, but not causing a lot of problems. High temperatures will warm in Denver up to 80, 86 in Kansas City, so things starting to top out. St. Louis will top out at 88 degrees, and 79 in Washington, 90 in Dallas, and 90 in Albuquerque. For boaters tomorrow, we'll start off with east winds. It'll be 5 to 10 knots, and then switch to the north by midday, and then pick up in the late afternoon northwest as that sea breeze kicks in up to 15 knots, and a moderate chop on the bays and inland waters. The water temperature now 78 degrees, so that makes that breeze all that much nicer right there along the coastline, keeping things a bit cooler near the coast. 88 degrees away from it, though, tomorrow on Wednesday. Thursday, we get up to 89. Notice our lows will be into the upper 60s, so we start to warm up on that end. And then that humidity bounces back on Saturday. Mother's Day, again, we're calling for the 50% chance for a few scattered showers and a few thunderstorms. For Mom, we'll see a mixture of sun and clouds throughout the day, and the temperature at 85 degrees. It's looking better, though. We'll watch the next computer forecast run and see how it plays out. And then Monday and Tuesday, a little bit dicey right now, depending upon where that low does develop. Right now, we're calling for a 30% chance on Monday, 40% chance on Tuesday, with showers and some much-needed rain possible early next week. Back to you.
Hey, Bob, thank you. Hurricane season is less than a month away, and homeowners are being urged to sign up now for flood insurance. It does take 30 days for new policies to kick in. One insurance agent we spoke to today said anyone who lives in Florida is susceptible to flooding, and most people can't afford not to have it. That being said, some policies can be expensive, especially if you live close to the water. It's also suggested that you purchase contents coverage as well to ensure anything and everything in your home is covered.
Your personal belongings, area rugs, etc. that get wet, all of that is going to fall underneath that flood insurance policy.
Policy prices depend on several factors, including how close your home is to water. Hurricane season starts on June 1st.
Sarasota County Sheriff's Office is asking county commissioners for money to buy an additional helicopter. In the last decade, Sarasota County has grown by 50,000 people, which for the Sarasota County Sheriff's Office means deputies are patrolling more neighborhoods and responding to more calls. There are times deputies say the helicopter is being used for one call when it's needed for another. These helicopters are used for things like finding people that may be lost or on a manhunt to chase a suspect on the run.
Also is utilized by the fire department in fire fighting. Last year was a banner year for us in that regard. Unfortunately, it was a very busy season. Our helicopter delivered over 80,000 gallons of water fighting fires.
Sheriff's Office is requesting money for a used helicopter that would cost around $3.4 million. Sheriff Tom Knight is proposing the funding come from impact fees, and he'll be making a presentation to county commissioners tomorrow. Linda?
Coming up, we'll introduce you to an amazing Suncoast woman who's starting a brand new journey.
Tonight, the president fighting back, taking direct aim at Mueller and the Russia investigation team. So what's the president's next move? Plus, the Iran nuclear deal, his decision revealed. World News Tonight with David Muir, America's most watched newscast.
I heard about the Detoli Cancer Center through friends of mine who had been treated here and were very pleased with the treatment.
If there is prostate cancer, we at the Detoli Cancer Center will find it using 3D color flow Doppler ultrasound.
And that helped precisely identify where my cancer was and some additional cancers that were not found during the biopsy. I would recommend the Detoli Cancer Center. As a group of human beings, they are unbelievably great.
Since 1972, Sleep King has provided quality mattresses and accessories at the best discounted prices available. Top brands like Simmons, Sealy, Serta, Beautyrest, iComfort, and more. With available free delivery, free financing, and free setup and removal. For a comfortable night's sleep with same-day delivery, even if we have to carry it on our backs. Trust Sleep King of Sarasota. Buy it today, sleep on it tonight.
My credit score was not that great.
I didn't understand what went into my credit score.
It was overwhelming.
Do you want to attain better credit health but don't know where to start? Credit Sesame can help by providing you a free credit score.
I love the app. It's so easy to use. It's like having your own financial coach.
Credit Sesame broke my credit score down into things that I understood, and it made me think, I can do this.
And the awesome thing about Credit Sesame, it's free.
It's 100% free. You don't need to go it alone. Get started today at creditsesame.com.
Get all the local information you need before you leave home in the morning. Watch Good Morning Suncoast weekdays on ABC7 to get breaking news, plus first alert weather and traffic focused on where you live. ABC7, we're here for you.
Nearly 50 years ago, Elizabeth Goldstein gave up a role she'd won on Broadway to perform at the newly opened Golden Apple Dinner Theater in Sarasota.
And this week, she's saying goodbye to Sarasota and starting a new chapter in her life. ABC7's Linda Carson has more on this amazing Suncoast woman.
After 25 years as Director of Music at the First United Methodist Church in Sarasota, Elizabeth Goldstein is retiring. She and her husband are moving to Raleigh, North Carolina. She's from Wilmington. Her talent was evident early on.
I started at the ripe old age of 3, tap dancing, and by the time I was 5, I had my first solo singing. I went to New York after college.
The first person she auditioned for was Bob Turoff.
Bob Turoff gave me the first job I ever had when I landed in the streets of New York.
And when he opened the Golden Apple Dinner Theater in 1971, she auditioned.
Carolyn Michael, Betty Buckley, Billy Linton and I opened the Golden Apple Theater with Stop the World, I Want to Get Off.
And she found another job here.
The church was looking for a paid section leader. And I was a trained singer, so I auditioned, and that's how I got to First Church.
She has started several musical organizations.
I had a children's choir when I first came here. I had a children's handbell choir when I first came here. I then had it was the West Coast Children's Chorus.
And she also started Bel Canto, Sarasota's first women's chorus, and a fine art series bringing international performers for community concerts. At age 42, she learned to play the organ and excels at it. This plaque expresses her feelings.
And it says the supreme accomplishment is to blur the line between work and play, and it's by Arnold Toynbee. And I think that's probably a really good description of what it's been like working here.
She's had her share of heartbreak.
I lost a son, and I think what really came home to me was The people that shook my hand as I stood at the door at the end were people that I would never have thought would have shown up.
And she's met the love of her life.
We met on Match.com. I said, when you're a church mouse, you sit on an organ bench most of your life, and I'm not a bar hopper. And I said, well, if I'm going to move forward in this life, I guess I better figure out how I'm going to do it. So I said, well, what can I lose? And what I gained was a husband.
And her life lesson as they head off into the sunset?
Keep looking forward, learn from your mistakes, but focus on moving forward.
Liz's last service as Director of Music here at First United Methodist Church will be Mother's Day at 11 a.m. Linda Carson, ABC7, your Suncoast News.
Wow. I'm sure all those church members are going to miss that music that she creates.
Powerful music too, right there,
And best of luck to her as she moves back.
Absolutely. We're looking into some nice weather for sunset tonight. If you have a photo, send it to pix@mysuncoast.com. And it's going to stay dry through Thursday. A slight chance for showers comes back into play on Friday as we start to see that humidity return. And then Saturday and Sunday, look for variable clouds, a chance for scattered showers and storms. That chance now is lessening somewhat with the latest computer forecast run. We'll have another one coming out tonight at 11, so we'll have a new one.
Right. Maybe we'll go down more.
Yeah, hopefully.
Fingers crossed.
World News Tonight with David Muir is next.
We'll see you again at 11. Have a good night.